Good day, you sexy internet travelers! Failey here. So today I want to talk about a problem I ran into the other day. I was talking to a friend of mine who isn't really all that into anime, and so I recommended an anime that almost everyone mutually agrees is a solid anime, Boku no Hero Academia. But then he asked me to explain why he should watch it, and what I thought would be an easy question to answer, I pretty much failed in answering. The first part of the answer was easy enough. I summarized that the anime was about a young boy amidst a world of talented people that possess superpowers, and he has inherited a superpower from the superhero he admires. He trains at a hero academy, slowly learning what it takes to become a great hero. But after summarizing it, I want to try to explain what makes Boku no Hero Academia a good anime, and I couldn't. I started with the characters, and usually when I admire the characters of an anime, I will talk about an intricate backstory, or possibly an array of emotional complexities within each one, or maybe the fact that they have relatable circumstances that I really resonate with. But then, I realized that Boku no Hero Academia really doesn't have any of those qualities. Most of the characters have extremely simple, one-dimensional personalities, be it the timid, unconfident protagonist that slowly proves themselves against the odds, or the always yelling, feisty, angry guy, or the simple-minded, honest guy. But none of the characters really have personalities that stick out from typical animes. And I think that is a trait very often present in animes that I consider garbage, and we still are attached to them and care about their stories. But even their backstories are shallow at best, with all of them being not more than 10 or 15 seconds long, and yet we still care about them. And it's not because we can relate to them, because how many parallels can one really draw between themselves and someone in a superpowered world where schools teach you how to become a superhero and all the problems the characters have are something superpower related, and yet we still feel connected to them. So then I thought, if it's not the characters, then maybe it's the story. Maybe it's the story that makes the anime good. But then the more I thought about the story, the less original and organic I realized it was. People are divided into such simple groups as just heroes and villains with nothing significant in between. So the premise of this story sounds like garbage. But then is it perhaps that those heroes and villains have interesting powers? Well, we can go down the list. Super strength, fire and ice guy, giant girl? The more I went through their superpowers, the more I realized how unoriginal most of them were. And not only are they unoriginal, but they are simple, coming without details, without twists, without explanations. And yet, I've never felt as though it detracted from the show. But, of course, the superpowers don't really much matter if the plot is interesting. But then when I went through the plot, I realized, wow, students attend an academy to train to become heroes that fight villains. The primary conflict in the world is that bad guys called villains exist and cause problems. And unfortunately, that's pretty much the bulk of the plot. So after all of this analysis, I realized the plot really isn't anything special. The characters aren't really unique, and the story is pretty much devoid in originality. These are all of the components that go into making an anime terrible, and yet I, as so many others do, love this show. So then I thought, why? Why is a show that I can explain in such an uninspiring way so enjoyable? And I think I figured it out. If I had to describe why it can be such a great show when it has such minimal levels of complexity and originality, I would say that it's because it's so simple that it's so great. Boku no Hero Academia knows what it is, and it doesn't try to adulterate itself with miscellaneous elements. Yes, the plot isn't that unique, but all of the interactions and scenes within each of the episodes that make up that simple plot are what makes it so enjoyable. Something as simple as a world where heroes fight against villains provides such a simple and yet solid foundation to build these episodes where one can sit back and simply enjoy the anime without a myriad of holes punctured in a plot that tried to be too complicated. And I suppose this is why I look forward to Boku no Hero Academia more each week than I do Attack on Titan. If I had to rate which anime is better, I would say Attack on Titan. But in terms of which anime I simply enjoy watching, I enjoy Boku no Hero Academia more because I can sit back and relax without stressful, complex, ambiguous plot elements around every corner. And this theme of simplicity carries through to make the characters so enjoyable. But what I think really makes the characters of Boku no Hero Academia great is their perfect balance. Boku no Hero Academia has created characters that center around one color of a person's personality. Maybe it's honesty, maybe it's aggression, maybe it's timidness, but they all coexist in this perfect balance without any single character being disproportionately focused on. And all of these simple single color, one-dimensional characters come together to create this perfectly balanced rainbow of personalities. And none of the colors of this rainbow stand out too much or too little. They are all equally focused on. And when this culminates with a plot that's been built from a sturdy and simple foundation, it makes sense why so many people enjoy watching this anime. So in conclusion, what makes Boku no Hero Academia a great anime is the simplicity of its genius. Thank you all very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more. And as always, stay sexy, Internet Travelers.